First of all, trust God. Even when the situation or the circumstances are unlike what you expected, like, trust God. Like, if God sent you, then understand that God equipped you to handle what it is he sent you to handle. As a young attorney, I'm a civil litigator, and I practice a little bit of everything. I'm not gonna hold you. I practice a little bit of everything. So even if I tell you, like, oh, I don't really practice that, the likelihood is I have before. I just don't. I prefer not to. And so, as a civil litigator, I will say, like, there are times where I'm sent to handle a matter or sent to do something that my flesh might be like, huh? How are we supposed to navigate that? Like, what's the vibes? But understand that where God guides, he provides. If God sent you, then God will equip you. Do not allow for your fear or your belief that you're not experienced enough to keep you from being the vessel that God called you to be for his people. As an attorney, that's vessel work. Like, I don't do this for me. I didn't call myself to the law. God did. And so with that in mind, I have to do what God called me to do. I have to go where God sends me. And what I cannot allow is for my flesh to get in the way of God's spirit that dwells within me. I cannot allow for myself to block the work that God is trying to do through me because I'm trying to think too much about, but what about this? But what about that? What about if this happens? There's always going to be a what if or what about, but you have to be a willing vessel. And as a willing vessel, you surrender to the only living God who moves through you, and you get the job done. And so I'm just so happy to see like how today's trial ended for me and for my client. I can't speak too much about it, but just know God got the glory for today's story. And I'm just super grateful. And I say that all to say, do what God called you to do, regardless of what kind of fears or insecurities your flesh might have pertaining to it. If God sent you, God equipped you, even if you don't recognize it yet.